so Susie has a problem with Jimmy. That Jimmy didn't do his part of the process correctly, according to Susie. So her reaction is to go to her manager, sit down, close the door, and say, hey, Jimmy really messed me up, and here's what he did. And the manager says, okay, what did you say to Jimmy? What was your conversation with Jimmy? Well, I didn't say anything about it. I mean, Jimmy should know how to do this better. Okay, so what do you want me to do? I'm gonna call Jimmy, and I'm going to address it with Jimmy. No, I don't want you to call Jimmy. I'm just kind of venting here right now because I'm upset. So you don't need to call Jimmy. Why do I not need to call Jimmy? Well, if you call Jimmy, he'll think that I went to you and I'm talking behind his back. Well, you did come to me and you are talking behind his back. Well, no, I'm not really. I'm just kind of venting, Okay, so let me tell you what's happening right now. Jimmy is talking with his manager, and he's giving a different version of this where you were the one that messed up the process, and he's telling his manager not to say anything. And so what are we all gonna do? Just sit on this and just know that we're just never gonna improve? Well, I should hope that Jimmy's not telling his manager about this, and giving some version, because Jimmy's the one that was wrong. Well, Jimmy might think that you were wrong. And why do you not want Jimmy to go to his manager? Isn't that the thing to do? Isn't that what you did? Yeah, but I would really hope in this case, if he might had a misunderstanding, he would come to me and we would just talk it through. Well, that's not what you're doing. You've come to me, and now I have a bad, I'm thinking of Jimmy in a bad way. I'm thinking of Jimmy as someone who doesn't follow the process, and I'm not allowed to talk to him according to you, so I just have to accept that, so I don't get his version. What do you think would be what would you want? I would want Jimmy to come to me. Okay, so why don't you go to Jimmy? You and Jimmy talk about what happened, talk about what went wrong, how we got there, talk it through, resolve it, and then you two come to me and tell me how you came to a conclusion. And in the future, you just go direct every time, and if you can't come to an agreement, or one thing's they're right and the other thing's they're right, come to me together and say, hey, let's just agree to go to our manager and walk through this, because our goal isn't to win the argument or be right, or sometimes people say, hey, if Jimmy's screwing up, that kind of gives me a little leeway to screw up once in a while too. So hey, it's not me that's messing it up. I'm not winning because Jimmy's not perfect. And so but the thing is, you and Jimmy need to work things out directly, and you and Jimmy need to come together. You can't blame each other. And so I think that's what this chapter is about. I've had a lot of people come in as a manager and they'll say, I'm just venting. I don't want you to do anything. So, not allowed to fix it, not allowed to get the other side of the story. I just want to lay this problem on you so you can let it sit and you can dwell on it, knowing there's a problem within the company and you're not allowed to do anything about it. So that's not fair to your manager. And so the only really good thing to do in this situation is talk to the person one-on-one. Hey, let's fix this as a team. Let's get this right. And if there's a challenge, we'll go our manager for advice or mediation or whatever you want to call it, and get it fixed. So I want to write a chapter about going direct, because if you're not doing that, that's what you need to teach your teams to do. If they're coming to you, a lot of times a manager will feel like, well, it's my job to fix things. So if they're coming to me, I'm going to go fix it. You kind of almost feel like you're passing the buck if you say, well, no, go talk to the person, you guys sort it out together. But if you get people, you're not doing a service to anybody by solving it yourself. So if you get people to start working together and knowing you guys are both responsible and accountable for this outcome, So you can't say, I lost because of Jimmy or I lost because of Susie. You lost. And so if it's because of Susie, you should have been contacting Susie, or you should have been working with Susie to resolve it. And so, or at least, if we're at the point we just want to learn from it, and we can share with the team, hey, here's what happened, here's how we resolved it, and we turn that into a bit of a win, and and we can show how we work together as a team. So, if you're in an environment where a team's important, which is in most bigger companies, then you got to get really used to doing that. And as a manager, you got to get really used to saying, you got to go work this out with this person, even though it's uncomfortable. And they might say, well, I'm not his manager, he should just know better. Well, work it out, come to us, come to a manager, go through it, and then the manager, if we find a weakness, then the manager will work on that with that person. So, but it starts with going direct and coming to your manager together with a solution, and never just is one person, because it's not fair to the other person, because there's always two versions, and the truth is usually somewhere in the middle.